Hey, I'm Melanie Mills, Toasted Blonde in Maryland. Today we're discussing a beginner's guide to medical marijuana. Okay, I've been a caregiver for 7 months now. Before that, I didn't even know the first thing. So we're talking, I'm a beginner. And I'm going to share with you what I've learned over the last 7 months. So let's talk about it. If you're a beginner, this video is for you. If you are a beginner in Maryland with a medical marijuana license, let's pretend you already know how to get one because there are plenty, like dozens of videos on that. That's what you need to know. If you know what shatter is and you use this video is not for you, okay? This is beginners, like caregivers and people that are trying medical marijuana who have never been using it for the last 20 years. Let's jump in. I'm going to do a series of videos on beginning medical marijuana in Maryland, specifically about Maryland medical marijuana. I'll probably do like 3 more videos. One will be about different strains, one will be about different dispensaries, and different means of delivery. Your means to get high, okay? But this video is just going to be the top 10 things I want to talk about beginners medical marijuana in Maryland. So basically there are 3 strains you need to know about. Indica sativa hybrids, which are mixes of both, and CBD. The CBD is the one that does not get you high. So let's just start with that. If you're looking for pain relief, for anti-inflammation, pain relief, you're looking at the CBD. That's the one that is often legal in all the states, like a CBD oil, and you can buy it like at Walmart and places like that, especially online. I'm not going to go into a lot of depth, so this is just beginners. That's CBD. Sativa gives you a nice, good, strong high, energetic high. I, as a medical marijuana expert, no, not as a beginner, I like to call it as an anti-asshole medicine, okay? I swear in my videos. If you are in a bad, foul mood, a sativa will make you a happier, generally nicer person to be around. Okay, and indica makes you tired, relaxed, you know, ready to go to sleep. They call it in the couch, okay? You're sitting in that couch and you're not getting up. You're watching TV for the night, okay? So you're not taking an indica first thing in the morning. But that's all. We're going to go quickly through all my things. So we'll talk about strains and all those in another video. Number 2 is terpenes. They exist. That's all you really need to know. When you're a beginner and you go and you sit down with your bud tender, terpenes exist. There's so many different kinds and so many things, but you're worrying about so many things right now that you can't learn about them. That's more intermediate. Once you've just started, give yourself at least like 6 months before you start really investigating terpenes. Probably, yeah, I'd say about 6 months, because I'm finally like able to start charting and figure out which ones are better and different things right now. Whew, I go fast. Number 3, 4, and 5 are all means of delivery. Number 3 is the old school methods of delivery that are available for us, okay? The flower is available for purchase. You can roll your joints or you can buy them pre-rolled. Yes, in Maryland there are jobs for people to just roll joints these days. Isn't that crazy? Okay, but there's the bong. Oh, I have one for you to see. Okay, you got a bong, you've got your joints, you've got your pipes. All the old school methods of smoking cannabis, okay? They're all available and it's easy to purchase and get involved in those. And you may know even how to use all those yourself. But if you are someone like me, with children, with a family, you're going to need a more discreet method of partaking in your medical marijuana. Perhaps you don't want everyone to smell it, or perhaps you don't want this ordeal and there's nowhere in your house where you can just leave a bong laying around, you know. It just doesn't work with a family for most of us to just have this bong lying around. Okay, so the second method of delivery I'm going to talk about is vaping. Now there are things like this little e-leaf vape pen that costs like $30. And you buy these cartridges, which we'll talk about soon. These are cartridges. This is unscrewed. And you attach it to your pen and you smoke it this way. But it's not smoke, you vape it this way. I'll get into cartridges in another video. Then there are things like this PAX 3. This is pretty cool because you can buy dry herb, and I'm going to try and open it for you to see. I'm just going to make a mess. All right? And then you pack it in there, and then you can smoke it that way. Now, when you take a hit from like a concentrate cartridge like this, you're going to take 1 or 2 hits, and maybe 3. I mean, it depends on your dosage, and that is like a whole nother video. Boy, I could talk forever about marijuana. Okay, but 1 or 2 hits, it's going to hit you fast and hard. You're going to be stoned like, you know, you are if you smoke a joint, okay? Or do a bong hit. There's things like this PAX where you fill it up and it takes you a while, maybe say 20 minutes. It's more like smoking a cigarette or cigar that you puff on a long time till you get high. Oh, and also in number 4 would be things like your disposable pens. They're just like this. It's all built in one. You just purchase it all for one use, okay? And then it's disposable. Number 5. Number 5, we're going to talk about edibles, okay? Edibles are things like literal edibles, making your pot brownies, all right, hash brownies. There are things like, but you can buy in the store, elixirs and tinctures and tablets and just like microdosing now called, okay? These are all things you can buy in the store. The tinctures are either, you know, a droplet or the tablet, and you put it under your tongue, and so it will go directly into your bloodstream quite quickly. Not as quickly as, you know, taking a hit, but not as long as an edible. Now the edibles, like if you were just to drink the elixir, like the Dixie elixir, or just swallow one of those tablets, or I'm not sure about the microdosing because I haven't tried that, okay? I don't have any experience with the called microdosing now. But when you take an edible and you don't hold it under your tongue, like a tincture, to get it into the bloodstream fast, it takes a very, 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 I'm going to stress very long time for it to hit you. In some cases, you may not start to feel it for up to 3 hours. And it could last up to like 6, 7 hours long. So if you're thinking about edibles, they're extremely different than taking a hit of this or smoking a joint. You cannot compare. You cannot compare. The high is completely different, and the amount of time it takes for you to hit that high. Don't eat a pot brownie and then an hour and a half later say, I'm not feeling anything, and eat another one, okay? It's all about dosing, and that's really difficult for beginners. But that brings me to number 6. 6 is DIY edibles, okay? Don't be afraid to do DIY edibles, even as a beginner, because that is really one of the most cost-efficient ways to partake, okay? To enjoy medical marijuana. The high you get from an edible is so different and so cost effective that I really think you should not be afraid to try a DIY edible. I have a video I'll link here and down below about how to make your own canna butter. Number 7 I want to talk about is the menu. When you go to a dispensary, they all have a menu. They're all so different. So every place you go to is like a little time warp. Like you don't know what's going on. It's not like you go to the doctor's office and sign in. Every place is completely different. A lot of places have it on a big screen where you can look at it before you go in. But let me just go through some of the important things you should know before you go. Every place I have been sells flower. This is, you know, your pot. This is your bud, your weed, what you used to call it, and they call it flower. Now the problem comes in is there are different kinds of flower. There are things like shake, which is like the discarded, not these pretty buds like this, okay? But you need to know that when they're in general, there'll be a section of the menu called flower. The next section will usually be cartridges. or concentrates. That is typically this part here. I'm unwinding this. That is typically this part here. This is a cartridge. A cartridge in that section of cartridges or concentrates, they'll often have disposable pens, which will be the whole thing. This is purchased separately with a cartridge, but a disposable pen has everything attached. Then also in that section, sometimes they'll have things like syringes. My favorite place, Cureleaf, has something called a syringe, which is very different than a cartridge. It looks like something like this. And it's actually like more like an edible or a tincture, but it's for some reason it's in with the cartridges just to mess with you, okay? In with the cartridges, there are different kinds, and often you'll see something called a distillate, and that just means it's been distilled more and it is actually more clarified. We have not noticed any real difference between a distillate being better than any other concentrate, okay? Maybe there is, maybe that's for an intermediate level. I told you I'm a beginner level. We're talking beginner level things right now. Okay, back to the menu. The next thing is there's going to be things like topicals. These are like rubs or oils that you put on your skin. They're usually the CBD or called transdermals. There's like Mary's Originals, and then some other brands are coming out with theirs. Now there's more and more things available. I just saw that there's like suppositories and Rick Simpson oil. So there's just so many things. But I'm just trying to give you simple breakdowns. Then there's the tablets and tinctures, and that's usually falls under the edible/elixir category. Then there's this final category that you as a beginner just ignore everything about, like shatter and sugar and wax and all these things that have to do with dabbing of all things. Okay, just if you're watching this video and you're a beginner and need to know any of this information, we are nowhere near that category. It's off limits to us, okay? This is for beginners. So just don't worry about that. Stick with flour, cartridges, elixirs and tinctures. Okay, that gives you enough to worry about. And the tablets, that will give you enough to worry about. And then I mean, if you add in, if you're having like a centralized place where you have a pain, then you're looking at the transdermal applications. Okay, that's it. I believe that was number 7. So getting there, this is getting to be a long video. This is supposed to be a quick introductory. Number 8, the prices. Okay, do not stockpile. Prices are coming down. Always wait for a sale and shop around. But like, let me just give you some prices. Right now, it looks like for an 1/8 of flour, the cheapest you're going to get that is like $35, and that would be at Cureleaf. Most places are up to like $60 for an 1/8, okay? So shop around and look around. I mean, obviously some are better strains, some are better growers, whether it's a shake or the pure bud, there's all these differences, but keep an eye on prices. Do not stockpile at the first place you go to, because you're going to want to shop around and before you even find out what you're looking for. Okay, and then cartridges, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. When we started with this process in January, cartridges were all around $90 for 1/2 gram cartridge, okay? Right now, we don't buy them unless they're like under 60. I'm in Central Maryland, well, Ellicott City area, okay? So that's the realm I'm in, and shop at Remedy a lot. Remedy often has a sale where you can buy 3 for, $55. Okay, so use that as a benchmark. You don't wait, unless you're in absolute need, for some CBD or something specific, then you spend the high price, but don't stockpile because the prices are coming down and you really don't want to spend more than like $65 for a cartridge, okay? If you are, you could have found a better deal. Of course, you can't always drive around, so who's that? Which brings me to number 8. go visit dispensaries. They are all different. They're all a new experience. They all have new programs. And when you sign up, like, you have to get notifications, okay? You have to get your text messages from them, because I can't tell you, you'll get like, you know, amazing deals will come across your phone, and you will find yourself running to the dispensary even though you don't need another half an ounce of weed, okay? So go to all the different dispensaries, check them all out. They're all very different. You'll find some are like, you know, more zen-like, and some are more business-like, and some are so casual, and some are extremely medical, and then some are like stoner central, let's face it, okay? So it is a very different place, and every bud tender you meet is not the same. Some of them are just kids who, you know, you just want to buy something and they'll give it to you and you're on your way. Some of them will spend an hour or two talking with you, explaining everything you need to know. Different places have different things. Look at the reviews before you check out a place, especially if you want to spend like an hour learning all about the types of things I'm trying to explain now. Take your time. The other thing I want to say about dispensaries is you have to remember that they're a business. So the best thing for you yourself might be Tangy, okay? But if they don't have Tangy available, that's one of the strains, okay? They're going to push something that they actually have available, but it may not be exactly what you're looking for. So don't be afraid to leave empty-handed, because you're going to be back. You're going to spend money another day, okay? So go learn. They're all new. And one more thing about dispensaries. I can't tell you how many times I've been left sitting there. They're new businesses. They don't necessarily get everything right. If you notice somebody coming in after you, you know, in the waiting room, and then they go in, you know, don't be afraid to say, hey, I think I might have been forgotten, okay? Because they're businesses too. I mean, I sat there for a long time, several times, so. And number 10, this is it. Don't be afraid to ask questions. We're all learning new. Medical marijuana is new in Maryland. There's usually somebody on staff that can answer your question. It may not be the first person you went to, and they may not be the most friendly or most helpful, okay? But there's somebody there that is going to help you, and I'm certain that the owner really wants to please you and help you through this journey. It is really difficult for a beginner, for somebody who doesn't know all about marijuana, to do this. So if you are interested in this type of thing and want to see further analysis of my beginning trials with marijuana in Maryland, subscribe to my channel and click the bell next to it, because that will alert you, because it's probably going to be another week or two before I get my next videos out. So, like I said, I'll be doing different videos on different things from a beginner's point of view. I am not an expert. Thank you for watching so much. I really appreciate it. See you soon. Bye.